Good morning, and welcome. It's July 23rd, 2024. I was grabbing a piece of this. It's banana bread. Man. That's really good. This is my my mom's banana bread. She delivered it personally because she was here this weekend. This is great. Mal will be with us shortly. She's gonna grab a coffee. Running a little slow. She did also cut my hair. It looks way better. I've been tired. I slept a good bit yesterday. I don't know why. I don't know why I've been so tired. Gosh, good bread. But I'm recovering. I just heard her say, "You already ate." Kep does get food in one location and then tries to get it in the other location. I'm going to read some things before Mal gets back here. That subby was 63 months from Spinach Wrap at Tier 3. Thank you. We had a subscription from Cheladonium. Welcome. 42 months from Twig the Viking Hippie. One morning sneeze for me. 68 months from Aradesh 3K. 11 months from Super Yoshi 7. 67 from I Spy Moose. Vagabond gifted a sub to Malier. 40 months from Genesis. 19 months from Candy Loopy. 43 from Brianna 906. 3 months from The Bumpty Boy. 63 months from Spark Strike 13. 35 months from Linders. 6 months from Fire Goddess 1990. 25 from Hero Chaos Chow. 9 months from Secret Fury. 69 months from Ryan B06. Nice. 59 months from Bucky Boy 2009. Ultra House gifted a sub to Jam Cop. We get 100 bits from Paint Chipper. 29 months from Jet Jet. And 300 bits from Satu says, "Indeed, it's July 23rd and I am getting Mother 2 manga in the mail. Apparently I've gone back 20 years, like a clown." Well, that's cool. I just ordered something. Well, I guess more specifically it's Earthbound related, but, you know, mother related. I don't know when it gets here. In the next little bit. Not manga, but it's paper. I cut myself off a pretty big piece of this. I have no regrets about this, but it's a pretty big piece. It's very good. Very, very good. My mom brought 4 loaves of this. She baked 4 before she came up and gave 1 to each household. So I'm working on mine because I can't share with anyone else because they already have it. Chess says, "It is great." She also made cookies. Not like 14 dozen like she normally does. She made like 3 dozen. And he says, are Josh and Rebecca still around? They are. They are. So they get to enjoy it as well. Oh my god. In hindsight, I could have heated this. I was in kind of a rush. That's okay. I will have more tomorrow, and I will put it in the microwave for a little bit. That's so good. Once Mal's up here, we'll talk about what this weekend was like. We did quite a few things. I had a lot of fun. So. Hi. That could have been worse.
Maybe.
Welcome.
Hi.
Your slice is a reasonable thickness.
Yeah.
I was just trying to make some progress on it, you know?
No, I'm sure there are a handful of other people who would come eat some.
Yeah, but they have their own to eat. So, like, they're not going to be able to, you know, eat all that. Sorry, this is... There's, you know the other thing? There's still cake.
Mm-hmm.
There is still cake. If only there was someone who could help us eat this cake. If only. Oh, that's great. Jake's Art Workshop says the mud crabs jersey showed up in the mail, and they had to explain to their parents who the Seattle mud crabs were. The best team of sports.
I hear they beat crosstown rivals last year.
Oh my god. That's what's so insane about it. They aren't!
Are you okay? Are you taking too big of bites?
No,
what's wrong?
no, I'm genuinely enjoying this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just... Like, I just woke up. I just woke up. I'm still, like, coming to. And I'm having, you know... What is ostensibly a brick? That's all. Hi. I told them that the cake was delivered personally since my parents were here.
Mm-hmm.
It was really nice to have them here. They got here on Saturday morning, and then they left Monday afternoon. So they were here for just about 48 hours. Right? Yeah. But it was nice to have them here. And we did, we managed to do quite a few things given their, you know, relatively short time here. Mm-hmm. We went to the North Carolina Museum of History, which was a very good museum. Like, very, very good. The downside being that it's
going to go into renovations, and most of it is closed.
Yeah. I don't know if... Is it most of it that's closed? Mm-hmm. Really? Mm-hmm. How many other floors were there?
At least one.
So 50% at least was closed. It's a very good museum. It basically talks about the history of North Carolina, like the timeline from the beginning of the area. So it starts by talking about like the Native Americans,
yeah,
and then goes through every single historical bullet point, and then the first floor ends up stopping around the 1950s, and there was no other parts that are open because they're getting ready to renovate it for like several years, and that is a shame.
So there's the Sports Hall of Fame, beach music exhibit, Carbine Williams, a 1920s drugstore, toys from the 50s and 60s, and military history.
That was what was missing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't get to see any Michael Jordan stuff. Mm-hmm. Because Michael Jordan is from North Carolina. Well, you know... I say next time, but it does mean like 3 years from now.
The 1920s drugstore sounds phenomenal, and I wish I could have seen that.
Do you remember when we were in Muncie and we went to the...
Model Aviation Museum?
And there was like a little model aviation store built inside of the museum, you know, from like back in the day. That was very cool. One of the things in the museum was a home that you could walk through.
There was a few.
Well, there was only one you could actually walk through, I think.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
And that was neat. Michael K. Jordan from The Good Burn, yeah. It was cool. That was a cool museum. It's right across the street from the...
Science Museum.
The Natural Sciences Museum. The museums are free. And the parking on the weekends is free, too, so... It's a cool thing to do if you're...
in Raleigh.
Yeah, if you're in the area or passing through or whatever, and you're like, I would like to...
The art museum is also free, and is also phenomenal.
Yeah. You can also get a lot of exercise at the art museum because there's so many outside trails. So...
My favorite piece in the North Carolina Art Museum is actually outside on the property.
Which piece?
The, Camera Obscura.
Oh, that. Yeah. Of course.
And I'm not sure I can think of the name right now. I may be confusing it with, a different piece at the, Walker.
Thunderstriker said we should visit the Wright Brothers Museum in Outer Banks at some point.
Cloud Chamber for the Trees and Sky, Raleigh, is my favorite piece.
Cloud Chamber.
It is a hike. It is not close to any parking lot.
In the fall, the art museum will be very nice to walk around.
Nessasaurus says the Walker is cool. I love the Walker. It is one of my favorite museums that I've been to.
It's been a long time since we were there.
Yeah.
Oh, Cosmic says you gotta visit the Pinball Museum in Asheville. Is that the one that's basically like a pinball arcade? Like you just can play all the pinball machines? Because the owner of Player's Choice had been telling us something about, I think it was that.
I don't remember.
I remember he was talking to us at some point about a pinball museum, and it was like you could play all of the machines. So I think it was that one. So.
Any plans to come up to Fun Spot? I would love to go back to Fun Spot. I want all of us here to go to Fun Spot.
Yeah, I really would like to take a little group vacation type thing up there.
Way up to New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's far. It's not super convenient, but I do think that would be very fun. Especially, but I would only want to go in the off season. I want to go when we have Fun Spot completely to ourselves.
We had gone in April, and it was perfect.
Yeah, it was a cool time. We had 7 months from Pudsey, 69 months from Jam, nice, and 60 months from Sylvana. Congrats on the 5.
Tokanute says, when is off season? Not summer and not fall.
Give me the bird.
I don't know if they're open all winter, but they were open in the spring, so.
It was incredible to go there and it be just us. Mm-hmm. You basically had our run of the entire arcade. That building is huge. There's so much cool stuff there.
We didn't even play any bowling or candlestick bowling or duckpin bowling.
It's because that was the most boring part of that place.
Yeah.
Like, they had cabinets that, you know, you'll never see again. Mm-hmm. And that was just such a cool thing.
I'm so glad I played Space Harrier when I was there. Because I tried to play Space Harrier in Japan, and it didn't work, and it was just incredibly loud, and then I was that person playing the incredibly loud game.
It's true.
And that sucked.
We had 500 bits of Melvin Scout. He says, good morning from New York. Started listening to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, narrated by Stephen Fry, so I'm curious, have you read the book? What's y'all's thoughts?
I read it, I read the whole series in high school.
I have not read it, but I watched the film that came out, I guess, I want to say a few years ago, but I guess at this point it's being like 20 years ago.
It was like 2007.
Yeah, so like 20 years ago. I don't remember anything about it, to be perfectly honest. I know there's a towel involved. And that's all I remember. I believe Haley is a very big fan of it.
She is, listening to the original stuff. Like was it a radio play, I think?
Give me
Yeah.
the bird.
Yeah. So Haley knows a lot about it. It's something that I think I would probably like, because I know that it's imbued with like a lot of comedy. But I haven't. I haven't done that. I bet it'd be cool to have it narrated by Stephen Fry, though. I like that. We had 300 bits from Atari VG, who says, morning. I wanted to share some good vibes. I'm working as an arranger for an Ace Attorney fan musical project, and so far the team has been a big fan of my ideas.
Cool.
I was just looking into the Ace Attorney games again, because I was curious if they had released a physical version of the Switch remake. So they took the first 3 games and they like put them on the Switch, and they did make a physical version. It was only in Japan, but I'm 99% sure that I read that it does have the English language on it. So I was looking into that. It's like I think it's like $25 on PlayAsia, and I don't have. Every once in a while, there will be enough things that I want to import that I'll get stuff from PlayAsia. I try not to buy anything from PlayAsia unless I'm spending $100, because if you spend $100, you get free shipping. So it's that's one of the things that's just kind of on the back burner. I'm like, okay, well, if there's enough other things, then I might pick that up. We played the first Ace Attorney. Did you play any of them past that?
No.
I remember really...
I liked them, but I just felt like they were like kind of the same thing. Like every
case?
Yeah.
Head to the grocery store and get Tiny Eddie's secretive paper slushies.
It's secret that there's paper in the slushies.
I mean, it comes in a paper cup. I guess if you waited long enough, the cup would become part of the slushie.
That is my least favorite part of the snow cone, is when the cone gets gross.
Why do they do that? Why is a snow cone so associated with that specific thin paper? Why? Why not just use something else? Anyway, we did 1,000 bits from Travis Salem. It says, if the smallest Edward brought you banana breadward, what will he feed my headward? Secretive paper slushies. That's mostly okay, except for, like, the paper part. Secretive slushie is okay. I'm okay with the concept of a secret slushie.
But what's in a secretive slushie?
Paper.
Okay.
Sorry you had to find out this
I hate
way.
it.
Read 500 bits from Shia says, Evo was this weekend. I'd always watched the highlights and announcements, but this year I saw as much of it live as I could. The sheer amount of passion focused in one place is contagious and makes you want to be a part of the fighting game community, even in some small way. I'm not a fighting game person, but I have seen clips of Evo in the past, and or just fighting game tournaments in general. And there is some really amazing moments that come out of that. The most famous one, I don't think it was from Evo specifically, but just a fighting game moment was, it's Street Fighter 3, where someone did they blocked like 15 seconds worth of things and then did I don't know. You have to the parry? Yeah. The Daigo parry. I'm glad someone knows what I'm talking about, because that was wildly vague. The time where it was a lot. It's when you're watching that specific thing.
Sorry, I had a thought. Keep talking.
As it goes on, the crowd is getting more intense because they're like, this is a thing that's happening. And that's something that no matter what type of video games you play, you can respect and get excited for as well, because you're like, okay, that's cool. That's very cool. Especially to be there and witness that.
Make your kiwi more special with Tiny Eddie's scrambled custard mini lumps.
More lumps. Okay, that was Evo, though. Okay, cool. 1,000 bits from Squid, who says, now that you had that banana bread, here's Eddie with your second breakfast. Scrambled custard mini lumps.
It's when you don't whisk the powder in your custard very well, and it's clumpy.
That wouldn't be the worst thing.
It might be.
But it's not, desirable.
No.
Also, to make your kiwi more special, so you're supposed to put your custard on your kiwi.
Kiwi's great.
It's better with lumpy custard.
Yeah,
Apparently.
Hey, Eddie. Our mixers aren't working so great, so the custard has these, mini lumps in it. So we just, mixed it up really hard, so it kind of got, scrambled and separated a little bit. Threw some kiwi on there.
Yeah. Eddie, what are we gonna do? We market it as...
Market it.
It's a kiwi topping. Ship it! That's what we'll do. We had 300 bits from Maximin. He says, time for another life update. It's been 4 months since I've returned to Nova Scotia, and things are well. I got a girlfriend, and I got a job at an auto parts shop, which actually pays really good. Hope you and Mal have been well. Cool.
Congrats on the good news. It's awesome.
Seems like it's been a relatively good 4 months then. Both of those things are very positive. I hope you continue to be well. I hope the next 4 months are also exciting. 1,400 bits from Travis, who says, not sure how I feel about this music. Let's pep it up a little. One of the things that I told myself I would do when I started Breakfast Stream, in 2018, started it, I was like, oh, I'm actually going to go through and make, a playlist of,
good music.
Instead of having all the music in there, I'm going to make, an upbeat playlist, and that's what we're going to do. And then I didn't do it. And I don't know. I kind of like that it's completely random because it does occasionally give you some very funny moments. Right? There's
Sometimes when I'm streaming, a song comes up and I'm like, no, and I uncheck it.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that.
And sometimes I'm like, haha, it's Mary Had a Little Lamb again, and then I skip it.
Yeah. One thing about your streams is that you, like when you're painting, you are talking like much less than like a normal just chatting stream because you're focused on the painting. And what that means is that the entirety...
Sorry. Radio dread.
The entirety of your music, like the entirety of a song, could play with like no other, sounds. And occasionally we'll get songs that are in Content ID that I didn't even know about, and I don't discover them through our stuff. I discover them through your stuff. Because that's if a song plays on Breakfast Stream, we might be talking over it or whatever, and like Content ID won't catch it, so I won't even know it's in there. But on your stream, I will. So at least once a month, there will be a claim on your video, and I'll be like, oh, and then I'll be like, okay, so this song is in Content ID, and then I'll go
have to
uncheck it so it doesn't play anymore. I also change it out of the VOD, and that's fun. So sometimes if you're watching a Mal VOD, up in the corner they'll say like what song's playing, and it could actually be a completely different song. Or sometimes I'll black it out with a bar. The more you know. We had 69 months from Renee. Nice. And 60 months from Gold Mage.
Speaking of me painting, at 1, I'm gonna paint on my channel.
That's true. You are, you're working on the mountain today?
Yeah, I painted the mountain light blue last time, and it's not right. It's not the right color. So I'm gonna mix up a new color and repaint it.
Okay.
It's too saturated.
It is very, saturated.
Is mountain on big canvas? It's on the biggest canvas. Every time I walk into the studio, I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing?
But you've been doing it.
I have. I'm very happy with the sky.
The sky is impressive.
Yeah.
The sky is very impressive.
I'm very happy with the sky.
I did it.
Finally. I've been done with mine.
Mine was bigger. When is your deadline?
I really should be done with it in 2 weeks to make sure it can fully cure and I can do an isolation
2 weeks?
coat.
2 weeks?
I really should be done with it in 2 weeks. 3 could work. I don't love it.
2 weeks? Holy, oh man. So how many times are you going live this week?
Well, I said last night during Dark Cloud stream that I was going to paint today and we're going to see how it goes. And my hope is that I finish the mountain today. And that I get to block in the left peninsula of trees, the left bank of trees. That's my hope. And if I do, then I'll be like, ah, good, and then I'll see how I feel. But if I don't, then I'm probably going to paint more this week. Just go live whenever and paint.
Okay, well. Alright. Yeah, there's a good chance.
The painting has a deadline. I have to have it cured in isolation coat before that deadline. I have to unstretch it from the bars, package it, and get it sent to where it's going before I go there myself to restretch it.
You really need to do it in 2 weeks.
I know.
Because if you wait longer than that, it's gonna make all that other stuff very stressful.
I know.
Okay, yeah. So Mao said last night, but I'm sure you just heard, Mao is going to be going live more often. Because you have to get the painting done. Anyway, it'll be great. It'll be really great. It's a good painting. It's just, you know, when this is gonna blow everyone's mind. When the canvas is bigger, it requires more painting.
Mm-hmm. And because of that, I'm probably gonna put Dark Cloud on pause for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Once this painting is done, you can resume Dark Cloud, because you basically need as much time as possible to work on this painting.
Yeah.
You'll probably paint during the Dark Cloud slot, though.
I might, yeah.
So you'll still be live at the same time. Because there will be people that will just be there and be like, all right, stream. And you can be like, yeah, painting. That's what's happening today. Anyway. Well, I wish you luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's really exciting for me to see the painting change, though.
Yeah.
You know?
I am excited, or thankful, I guess is the word I want, that the person who's getting the painting was like, I want more sky in it, when I had sent them my sketch. They were like, more sky. I'm like, okay, so I basically cropped up my sketch from the bottom and just added more sky on top. And that was very great. Because that part was the easy part.
Sky is easier than...
Water reflection?
Yeah.
What I was going to do?
Sky is the least time-consuming part.
Yeah.
Wait, 3 Bits from Shy says, the clip you're thinking of, officially known as Evo Moment 37, or the Daigo parry, is easily the most well-known fighting game clip ever. Funny enough, people think Daigo won the tournament, but that wasn't finals. In fact, he actually lost the tournament. Goes to show that legends aren't born just in grand finals. I don't know if you've ever seen that moment.
I have not.
I will have to show it to you after this. It is very cool. It's a very cool moment. It's a short video, too. Yeah, and also, if anyone else has no idea what we're talking about, they can look it up, too, because I think they'll be like, oh yeah, this was actually very neat. Because it is.
Jack says, is it a commission? It's sounding a lot like a commission. In a way, it's for someone very important to me. It is a very special project for me, for someone that I love dearly. No, I'm not unpackaging or unstretching a canvas and shipping it to you and then flying to you to restretch it. Sorry.
Fine. Just fly around in a circle and bring it back and restretch it. And let's talk about my parents.
Yeah.
Because we haven't done that. Other than mentioning we went to the museum.
Yeah, oh sorry, we got distracted.
You started talking about painting. We had everyone over on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Well, not everyone. Josh and Rebecca were busy. But everyone else was here on Saturday. We had like a pizza party. And that was fun. It was fun for everyone to get to see my parents again and vice versa, because it's been some time. It's been some time. My parents were super excited to see Kepler.
Yeah.
They hadn't seen Kepler in 2 years. Very, very excited to see him. And they doted over him like the entire time that they were here. And at one point, Kep had jumped up into my mom's lap and laid down, and my mom was like very thrilled. Very, very excited for that. So that was nice. What did we do Sunday? Oh, we went to...
we had Indian?
We went to an Indian buffet. We've been to a lot of Indian restaurants, but there's a few buffets, and we were like, okay, let's actually do an Indian buffet. So we did that. And that was very good. It was a lot of food. It was very good. Got to try a lot of different things.
Yeah.
My mom has only ever had Indian food like one time, and I don't think my dad ever has. So it was like a new experience for them, and they both really liked it. They both cleaned their plates, and that was fun.
It was very good.
It was very good. So.
And then we took your dad to Jerry's, because he's never been to like a proper art store.
Yeah, we have a Jerry's Artorama, and that was
Because
neat.
like, you know, Michael's and Hobby Lobby and he had been to AC Moore in the past are like...
They're not the same.
They're not quite the same. They're
It's
more...
not the same thing.
They're art and crafts, but like Jerry's and like Blick are like art only.
Capital A
Yeah.
art stores with like, yeah, it's different from a Michael's or whatever. So he was excited about that.
Yeah.
He was really excited. He got some paints and stuff that like colors that he wouldn't be able to get
Yeah.
back in Myrtle Beach.
Brands,
Yeah.
brushes, because like there's not just like open stock brushes to like pick and choose what you want.
Renee says, I need to take Maddie to one, but I'm also scared to take her to one.
It's so hard, Renee. I look at every color and I'm like, it'd be nice if I could just have all the tubes of paint. I don't need all the tubes of paint, but it'd sure be nice.
I mean, when you start painting, I mean, I guess you can do it any way you want, but like having just like 6 tubes or 8 tubes or whatever, and like forcing yourself to mix the colors is a good way to learn.
Yep.
And then you slip into a professional setting and you're like, I need to save time, so you start getting more.
Well, sometimes you want a specific tone.
Sometimes you want to save time because sometimes you have to paint a 40-inch by 30-inch painting in 2 weeks, and trying to mix up every single color becomes very difficult.
I had you order 2 tubes for me. What did I have you do? A phthalo and
Burn umber?
Burn umber, because I was running low. I normally keep 2-ounce tubes of those.
Yeah.
And then when we were at Jerry's, I was like, I should probably pick up some neutral gray. And I picked up that in a 5-ounce tube. And I got a brush, and I got a big thing of isolation coat, because I'm going to have to isolate that huge canvas, and I wanted to make sure I had enough.
And he says, to be fair, we took her to Michael's for a birthday shopping spree, and she kept it under 200, but she really likes colors. I mean, it's not, like, no matter what medium you're working with, it's nice to look at a spread of colors. Like, when I was growing up, I was in the family that we could afford the 8 crayon Crayola, but I had the classmates that had the mighty honkin' 128
With
lid
the sharpener.
with the sharpener, and it had like rows, and like that's a fun experience, you know? It's like, wow, that's a lot. Or if you work with markers, having like the full marker set. How many years ago I bought Haley a big thing of
Tombow markers.
yeah, and it was like a huge set that had like a jillion colors in it. And then I hadn't seen them in forever, and whenever they moved here, she still had all those markers and put them in the thing, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And it's fun if we're like coloring, because she'll put out coloring sheets and stuff. We have like every single color available. So you haven't had a huge interest in markers.
No. I dislike using color pencils. And I've never really had experience using markers like that. And I assume I wouldn't like it much because I dislike using color pencils.
What are the markers?
I don't know why.
What are the
Give me
markers?
chalk pastels.
What are the markers that are like real? They're real thick. They're used for like.
Copics?
Is that it? The ones I'm thinking of are like really, really big and thick, and they're used for like graffiti type stuff.
Like paint markers?
Yeah. I don't know.
I can picture them because I buy their empty markers, Posca.
Maybe.
Because I buy their empty ones and fill them with liquid acrylic for painting.
I like I think I would like exploring some of that stuff, but
Their mascot is a reanimated shrub, Tiny Eddie's Thicket Seltzer Tart Flakes.
Thicket Seltzer Tart Flakes.
I assume like Pop Rocks. Like seltzer, like fizzy.
These certainly are words that have been put together. 1,000 Bits from Slick Duke says, I had an amazing Colorado trip this past week full of hiking, rafting, and fun times with my brother. Only hiccup was my return flight, which I got back at 4 a.m. yesterday. Yeah, that's not super ideal.
Yeah.
Because then you have to like slowly get your sleep back on track. But I'm glad that your trip was amazing. Excellent. I know we've seen some of the photos in Discord.
Colorado's a beautiful state.
Yeah. It has a lot to offer, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's varied, which is cool. Anyway, if you're having trouble getting your sleep back on track, just fill yourself full of Thicket Seltzer Tart Flakes.
They're sour and
Bubbly.
bubbly.
Their mascot is a reanimated shrub. Oh, good. And we also had 70 months from Hi Ryu. Thank you. Yeah, I like graffiti art, like very thick lines and bold, like saturated colors, that sort of thing. And every once in a while, that'll come across my algorithm as like someone doing either word art or some other imagery with spray paints and doing everything, and it's very cool. It's very therapeutic, and when people are very skilled at it, there's no second guessing what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Their lines are very intentional.
Everything is intentional, and I'm assuming that it has to be
Practice.
well, it has to be intentional because generally, if you're doing graffiti art, you're under a time limit, right? You're trying to do things quickly. And to see someone work like that and to just, it's like they know what they're going to do and it's going to take exactly like 3 or 4 marks. And that's it. There's no like, what am I going to, it's like, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and it's like a whole thing. And I'm like, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. Yeah, Renee says, before the cops show up. Yeah. People working quickly. Anyway, if you ever want like some art done on the side of the house, I'm sure our landlord would love that. I could probably. It would take me a little longer because I'd have to.
You'd have to do it before the HOA shows up instead of
it'd
the
be
cops.
it would be on the back of the house. HOA won't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know, man.
You want to hear a wild story? This happened to me yesterday. This is reminded me because you said back of the house. I'm sitting on the porch yesterday.
Okay.
And I'm sitting out there because it's nice and I'm reading. And I hear something metal roll down the hill and kind of like clang over those rocks where it goes into like that rock ditch for the... Like not the one over there, but like straight back. Anyway.
Irrelevant, but okay.
I hear some guy swear and I hear him walk towards the noise. And I hear it like, it sounded like he picked up whatever it was and he walked it back up to the neighbor's cathedral door. And so I peek out the screen and look, and there's a guy and he has a propane tank. The propane tank rolled down the hill and he went and picked it up. And he's like messing around with it and hooking it up to some hose or something. And I just start hearing a lot of hissing. Like, and he's messing around with it and he's like hooking it up to hoses. And I'm like, this doesn't seem safe. So I went inside.
Your neighbors with Hank Hill? No, because Hank Hill would never drop a propane tank.
It was not a neighbor. It must have been like some maintenance guy. They have a gas fireplace because I can see the vent of where it vents. I assume they just have a propane tank to run that, and he was hooking it up. That was what my assumption was. But it was very concerning, so I went inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's
there was no
fine, it's
boom,
fine.
so I assume things are fine.
We prefer when there's no boom.
Yeah.
We do love that. It's a fun reminder that, like, there can be an explosion or a fire or anything that's, like, it's not your fault.
Uh-huh.
And yet it can still affect... It's, like, a little harder to happen in a like a neighborhood setting because the houses are at least have some distance, but it's not impossible. It's very easy in, like, an apartment environment. If you have a neighbor that's like, I always fall asleep smoking. You're like, don't, please. Please do not do that. When we were in South Carolina in the apartment, the neighbors below us, they smoked like chimneys.
Yep.
But they never set the apartment on fire. We prefer that. They did, however, smoke on their patio,
Which meant we couldn't enjoy ours a lot of the time.
because the smoke was up. I didn't love that. It's fine. Yeah.
Renee. When you live on an army base, you hear a boom and think, same as always. Oh yeah, Noah, I remember that. Noah had a neighbor, have an accident.
Oh. That's bad.
Trying to fill a lighter from a propane tank.
A lighter? Like a lighter? What?
Vagabond, lighters use butane?
Okay. Alright. I mean, I shouldn't question, I shouldn't question humans. Because, like, humans do things that are not smart. And, like, I think everyone has moments like that. Everyone has moments where they're like, oh, this is, a bad move. It's just some people have a particularly bad moment. And sometimes that's not a good thing. Every once in a while, I'll have a it's like your brain crosses wires, and you're like, wait, what am I doing? What was it I did? I did something the other day.
You were talking about the trampoline when you jumped off the trampoline.
Oh, that's not what I was going to say, although that is a thing that happened when I was younger. But that's a good example of that. It was something with butter. I took butter and I almost put butter in, like, a place where it didn't go, and then my brain was like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh my god, I don't know.
Here.
No, when I was younger, maybe in middle school, probably middle school, we had neighbors that had a trampoline, and hi bud, and the neighbors, the parents of the neighbors were like, you can use our trampoline anytime. We don't have to be home. Just come on over and jump on it. Which, now as an adult, I realize is an insane thing to tell a child. Why would you do that? That is the dumbest thing. And, like, as a kid, I was like, okay, this makes sense. I'm 10. But in adulthood, I'm like, oh my god, I wouldn't even want the neighbor kids on my trampoline.
Yeah.
Like, it's too risky. They need to buy their own. And you can jump and look at each other from a distance. But I was over there, and anytime I was on the trampoline, when I was done, I would stand on the edge, like the metal rim, and then jump down. And for whatever reason, when I had been jumping on the trampoline that day by myself, my brain was like, you jump off of the trampoline. And I was like, I am done. So instead of getting to the rim and jumping off, I bounced and then jumped onto the ground. So I do that, and then in the air, as I'm approaching the ground, my brain's like, this is not how you normally get off. And that was bad. I did not break any bones, but I had...
It hurt.
It did hurt, and I had, like, sprained something. I don't know what it was. I guess it was something leg-related. The only thing I remember is it was the next-door neighbor, so I remember landing and thinking, oh my god, this was a bad idea, and then getting to my parents' house and telling them I was in pain. I remember I had to go to the doctor because I had to get like x-rays or something after that, and they said I hadn't broken anything, and I was like, oh. It was a long time ago.
Kepler's having a great time.
Good boy.
Kepler. Good morning. Good morning, you. Hello.
There's times like if I'm making something in the morning where something comes from the pantry and something comes from the fridge. Like I'll go to put the pantry thing back into the fridge before my brain's like, no. And I'm like, oh, no. But
See, it always throws me off when I move something around in a cabinet. Like I recently moved all of a thing, like a set of things, to a different cabinet. Mm-hmm. And I keep forgetting. I'm like, oh, shoot, where is the thing? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I moved it.
Yeah, I'd rather do that, though. Like, I'd rather have that happen than, I blew up the house.
I accidentally put the milk in the pantry overnight.
Or that. That's worse. And I feel like I usually catch those things. So... Renee says, I did that when I was pregnant with Maddie. I couldn't find the milk. I had put it in the pantry and put some canned goods in the fridge. Yeah. And that can happen to anyone at any time. I'm always careful because, like, if there's, like, a news story about someone that did something, like, terribly stupid, I'm always careful because I'm like, that can happen to anybody. Like, anyone is capable of, like, they're still waking up and they've done something, something dumb. Not impossible. I try to be mindful of that because I know it can happen to me. We got 49 months from Akira Dre. Akira, thank you. Radio Dread says, my friend left her milk out on the counter and put her phone back into the fridge where the milk was supposed to go. Yep. Kanye says, I sleepwalked once and later discovered I had put the milk in the oven. This milk is too cold. We'll solve that. At least you didn't turn the oven on. Turning the oven on while sleepwalking would be that'd be a very horrifying thing to discover later. Like, oh, not only did I sleepwalk, I turned the oven on. Oh no. Wanted some homemade cheese. Yeah, this sort of thing, anyone can do this. I think it's worse in the morning, because there is a period of time where your brain is, like, waking up.
Yep.
Remember that morning that you wanted some...
Oh, I asked you to make me coffee or tea or something?
Yeah.
And you put the cup in the microwave and it had metal in it?
Yeah. Yeah. I was back in the apartment. I think you wanted tea. You said, would you make me a cup of tea? And I said, sure. And, like, you'd asked me to do that, and I literally had been asleep. So I just, in one fell swoop, got out of bed, walked into the kitchen, grabbed a mug, filled it full of water, put it in the microwave, started it, and then I went over to, like, grab the tea bag or whatever, and when I turn and look, like, the microwave, there's fire in the microwave, and I'm like, And, like, I don't react at all. I'm just like, that's bad. So then I open up the microwave, and I take the mug out, and I put it in the sink, and I turn the water on to extinguish the fire, and then I realize, I'm like, oh, it was metal. So then I grab a non-metal mug, fill that with water, and put it into the microwave and turn it on. And then Mal walks out, and she's like, what is that smell? And I'm like...
Burning plastic, don't worry about it.
Yeah, melted your mug.
Someone had said they stored stuff in their oven until someone accidentally preheated it and didn't know there was stuff in there. Something similar happened to my dad and Rhonda. They had put all of their, like, grill tools in the grill and then put it away for the winter. Brought it out in the spring, but didn't pull the tools out. And then they were like, oh, let's grill out. And then, like, a while later, they went and turned it on and didn't know all the stuff was in there.
You can store things in your microwave because you don't preheat the microwave, so you have to open it and discover what's in there before you do a button. But you cannot store things in the oven.
We always stored things in the microwave when I was young. We'd always keep the bread in there and paper plates.
Yeah.
We used a lot of paper plates in my household when I was young.
It's a reasonable place to put things if you need to keep, like, air away from it. Like, anytime we would buy donuts, you know, we would eat some donuts, but then we would put the remaining donuts in the microwave because then
Also,
they won't dry out as fast.
Cat, sometimes it's easier to put something like that in a microwave. Hi.
Yeah, if you have a cat that, like, jumps up on counters and gets into all of your
Knives.
stuff, yeah, knives, then having a place to put it is good. So a microwave's a good place to store things. Hi, buddy.
Kepler can't open the microwave. Hey.
You don't know how to open a microwave. What's wrong with you? It's easy. You just apply a fair bit of force and pull. Can't do it. We threw into bits from Satsu says, Steven, your beans aren't showing. I hope so. This is twitch.tuvalu. I don't think I can do that. Oh, it's... Man, last time I looked at the clock, it was 9:34. That was a fast 20 minutes.
Shai says, my family sometimes stores pans in the oven if we need room, but that's why I was taught to check before turning it on. I keep our pizza steel in there all the time, and sometimes I'll keep the cast iron in there.
Yes.
And that sucked, because it's like, oh shoot, it's super hot. Now I have to take it out.
Yeah, the pizza steel stays in there all the time.
Yeah.
Because...
Coffee.
I mean, we could probably take it out. I
normally keep the cast iron on top of the stove, but sometimes after I cook in it and I get it all, like, you know, cleaned up and re-seasoned, sometimes I'll throw it in the oven to cool down so it's out of the way where it's not hot, where someone can touch it.
Coffee.
I wonder what the cook differences are that are happening because we keep the pizza steel in the oven. It affects something because it has to. And we've never taken it out, and I'm curious. Like, we're not using it because we haven't made pizza in forever.
I know, but it's a heat sink, so once it gets hot, it holds heat and keeps it more consistent at a certain temperature.
So you think that it's an improvement?
For some things. It's depending on what you're cooking. It's the same reason people like cooking in cast iron is because it holds the heat at a more consistent temperature.
I mean, the oven also holds the heat as long as you're not opening it. I guess the question is, like, should we take it out?
It's really dependent on what you're cooking. Like, okay, for example, if I'm cooking a pumpkin pie...
Yes.
I start the pumpkin pie, like, at 425, and it cooks there for, like, 20 minutes, and then I turn the oven down and cook it at 350 until it's done.
And you're saying because you alter the heat...
Yes.
It would be
especially
bad.
to a lower temperature because the steel is going to be hotter and keep the oven hotter.
Yeah. So, honestly, what I'm hearing is that there's not really a great reason to keep it in there at all. So... Chaz says it would reduce preheating time to take it out.
That's true.
Yeah. It would, immensely. Because because all that thing is absorbing all that heat, which means it would preheat way faster. We should remove it, honestly. I don't see a reason to keep it in. I think it's doing a lot more harm than good. Buddy.
Just like...
So dirty.
Trying to roll a little bit.
It is big bath time. We had 300 bits from Jet says, whenever I bring fast food home, I put it in the microwave so my 2 dogs and 2 cats don't get it. They can open it, but their noses can sure turn it on for 39 seconds. Or they can't open it, but their noses can turn it on for 39 seconds. Discovered that last night. Well, just making sure it's hot and ready. The placement of our microwave would be inaccessible.
For Kepler.
Yeah. But I've had standalone microwave units before. And if that's on a counter, then yeah, your animal can just get to it.
What?
You look like you are soaked.
Keep been washing.
You've been washing for a while. Very wet. We had 300 bits from The Bumpty Boy. Says, Kepi don't got fingers to operate the microwave. It's true. It's true. But he also can't open it. Because it requires too much force. I don't think you can do that, can you, buddy? No. He looks tired, but I think it's because he had a very busy evening of, or a very busy night of waking me up. He woke me up 3 times last night. And now he looks exhausted.
Are you exhausted? Kepler.
He didn't even look up at you. He's like,
Hi,
what?
I'm up here. He's there. I'm up here.
It's fine. Haley says, my jam. It's your jam. I'm so happy about your jam. Do we have the normal Farmer in the Dell song in here?
What do you mean? With the lyrics? You might have unchecked it.
I think I got rid of all of those.
I'm 16.
Travis says, 16 farmers in the Dell. What is the Farmer in the Dell song about?
No.
I know there's like Hi-Ho the Mario.
Jimmy, 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 Jimmy.
But what is it? I don't know any of the other lyrics. Do they list animals or something? I really don't know. It's about farmers using a Dell laptop.
Says a farmer. He's in a Dell. Hi-ho the Mario, the farmer in the Dell.
I see. Okay. Well, I'm learning so much. We had 300 bits from Pastry Bear Plays who says, I just wanted to thank this community yesterday for the good vibes and lots of love yesterday. Joe went to the Rainbow Bridge yesterday after a 3-month fight of his cancer returning. Truly the best people I know. Good vibes. Good vibes.
Good vibes to you.
Good vibes.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I know.
It is a lot. It's difficult, but also I'm really glad that we have a community that can make that journey slightly more palatable. And I'm really grateful for that. Having people around that genuinely care and can let you know that and have that solidarity with you is important. So, yeah, good vibes to you. We also had Travis Salem gifting us up to Cheesehammer. And 300 bits from Genesis who says, going to New York City this weekend. My family and I are going to the last Billy Joel concert at Madison Square Garden. Crazy how that worked out. Is he finally done?
My dad saw him a few years ago.
Has he played 10,000 concerts? I honestly thought he would just never stop.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta find out. I gotta know how many he did. The end of his residency. Billy, not Bully. Billy, not Biley. Billy Joel, MSG. Sorry. So, Googling Billy Joel MSG. How do I find out? Total concerts? There's got to be a way to find this out quickly and easily. I know it was record-breaking residency. Someone's got to have this written down. 150 shows. Something. 150 shows over 10 years. I thought it was more than that, to be honest. Joel currently perform. This is an article from last year, but it says currently holds Madison Square Garden's only 2 performance-related records. One for most lifetime performances by any artist, which at the time was at 136 shows, and one for most consecutive performances by any artist, which was at 90. Oh, the finale is number 150. Jeez. Amazing. What will he do now?
Don't know. Enjoy retirement?
How old is Billy Joel? He's 75. I mean, he might... I don't know. I feel like most artists, especially ones that have the...
A show outside of the garden?
Yeah, like the mythic status of Billy Joel. Like I feel like music isn't like they have to perform. You know, like that's like who they are. But maybe less. Maybe a little less. He could certainly retire.
I mean, I feel like he's done shows outside of Madison Square because I feel like my dad saw him in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, he might have done multiple.
Yeah.
Might have kept doing Madison Square while also doing other shows.
Because other stuff happens at Madison Square Gardens, too.
I wouldn't mind seeing Billy Joel. That would be cool. G-Sammer gifted a sub to Billy Joel. Oh, good. Now Billy Joel can tune in and enjoy our emotes. I'd love to see... I'd love to see Billy Joel jump into chat at some point. That'd be really nice. G-Sammer also gifted a sub to Only the Good Die Young. It's true. He has so many good songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely like an American musical hero, I think. We had 300 bits from Camara the Jew. It says, yesterday was my birthday, and as a present, my dad gifted me a compilation of photos of me and my late grandfather. I miss him, but it was the best gift ever. That's a very cool present.
That's very sweet.
It's a very, very cool gift.
I hope you had a good birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday also. That's a very thoughtful gift.
Yeah.
Cool. I love that. All right, it's like 10.
It is like 10.
I don't have a vlog ready because I've been spending time with my parents. And then yesterday I slept a bunch after they left. I was just very, very tired. But I got back to work on on the Japan vlog that I was working on. So I'll see what happens today. Like, I should probably work on Saturday, but I'm so close to finishing this Japan video that I'm like, just gonna probably work on that. So I think it's basically done. I need to watch through it again, and I need to. It doesn't have a title. I have to find a title, but like it's mostly done. So stay tuned. There's stuff coming out shortly. The other things you need to know is about 3 hours from now, 1 p.m. Eastern, Mal will be painting on big canvas on twitch.tv/malmakes. Do tune in. It's a big canvas. That's worth it enough.
Yep.
It's big. You got to see it. And then tomorrow at 1 p.m., I begin Subnautica. It's going to be fun. Very excited about that.
Oh, Chaz has a new alert for me.
Oh yeah, Mal on Mal's stream today, there's a new alert. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited.
Chaz was testing it when I was setting up for Dark Cloud 2 yesterday, and I about had to call you in to be like, what's wrong with OBS? Because it started to happen, and I was like, weird. So I restarted OBS, and it popped back up, and then it started happening again, and I was like, oh god! And then I pulled up alerts and saw that it was Chaz test, and it was like doing where it flips so you can see that it's running. And I was like, oh, this is Chaz testing. It scared me.
Now I really have to. I haven't seen it. Now I really have to see it because I got to be like,
I didn't
why
take
would
video,
you?
I
Why
took
would
a
you
photo.
think?
Listen. This is what it kept doing. And it was scaring me.
It does kind of look like the system is glitching. Anyway, yeah. So tune in to see that. That's today. And yeah, Subnautica is a solo Steven stream, and that'll be tomorrow at 1. Very much looking forward to it. Otherwise, Thursday morning is breakfast stream, and Friday night's Zelda. Mal may be going live at random times between now and then to work on the painting. That'll be at her discretion, so we'll see what happens. Okay. All right, folks. Thanks for being here. I hope that you have a wonderful Tuesday morning, and I hope that you will tune in to Mal's stream at 1 p.m. She will see you then.